And then just looking here at how the basement, bring the basement under this area, it will allow us to feed up to provide services into the rest of the building. We are still in draft stage on mechanical equipment, but we would be building this to current standards as far as design, materials, insulation, energy conservation, and so forth. We just had we were just discussing this where we are in the existing building, and right now you're spending $3 plus per square foot per year for energy costs in this building. We did a building a couple of years ago for Rowley, Massachusetts, a library of almost exactly the same size. And the library folks contacted the people in Rowley, and that design is costing $1.14 a square foot for energy costs. So it's really quite dramatic, the kinds of savings you can get by introducing modern equipment, modern levels of insulation, and so forth. So those would all be part of what we would propose in the design here. The building can be very efficient. The fact that we're on a new site, new footprint, that we aren't having to contend with existing conditions means that both the design and construction can be carried out very efficiently, and we can plan for, in the future, being able to allow the expansion to take place, and really the nature of the site is such that we could create access from the Alvern side that I think it would be possible to do an expansion in the future of this building and maintain library services in it. So there's a lot of pluses, we think, to the design and to the site, and we think that this would be a great asset to the town. I think most of our past clients have found that the libraries that we've built for them have been very well received and have done a great deal for the town. And we hope we can do the same thing here. Thank you.
I guess we're open to questions now. Board members, Selectman Jasper.
Well, I don't have questions per se. I just want to comment that I think this is a wonderful proposal. My father served on that first committee that had its report in about 1980, and so this has been a long process. And I think that this is something I hope this board supports and that the townspeople will support. I can give you my personal testimony to the soils out there, although be it a long time ago when I was very young, we used to haul sand out of that pit for use on the farm, and that was very pure sand in there.
Is that legal?
It was back then. certainly was back then, and the statute of limitations certainly would have run out by now.
Right.
Selectman Massey.
Well, first of all, I echo Selectman Jasper's comments. There's definitely this is a nice-looking building, and it does evoke images of the existing building. I do have some questions, though. The first one is, the cost estimate that you're producing, is that based on cost escalators, given that you said that you're not anticipating moving in until 2 to 3 years from now?
Well, our estimator is currently working on it. We were hoping we'd have the estimate tonight, but he wasn't able to get it ready in time. What we will do once we have the estimate is to go over with him what he's seeing in terms of the current trends in costs, and we will give you recommendations on how much escalation the town should carry based on 2 years or 3 years out. And I guess how far out is really your call. And it's kind of a crystal ball gazing exercise, as I hope everyone understands, but we'll give you our
But there will be some
advice.
cost escalator estimate
It will
involved.
be included, yes.
Would that cost include the fit-up of the building?
Yes.
All
Yeah,
right.
we will be developing a furniture budget.
Secondly, the internal drawings show what the renderings look like, which is siding with some fieldstone on the bottom. Your color drawings, however, suggest that it's going to be a brick facade, and I would think that for purposes of perception being reality, that you would want to change the color renderings to show that it's siding, not brick.
Well, I think what happened was that on different computers and printers, the tints come out a little differently.
But I'm looking at two separate sets, and they both suggest, just to comment on that one.
Yeah, well, the intent was that shingles would seem like a good
Correct.
combination.
That's what you show on the actual
yeah.
architectural drawings.
Yeah.
The next question, you indicate that by doing the basement the way you're going to do it, that you would eliminate the elevator. But wouldn't you need an elevator to bring heavy materials if you had to replace a boiler, or for staff personnel who are not able to use stairs?
Well, we're proposing is that this would be really storage and back of house sort of space.
I understand that, but if for no other reason than if a staff person is working there and needs to go down there and they can't use the steps, how are they going to get down there?
Well, if it were the town's pleasure, we certainly could design an elevator for it, but an elevator is going to be a $100,000 item. We've suggested a book lift, which probably is $15,000 or $20,000, but
It's just a consideration. In the documents on this document that we were looking at, it indicates that the circulation is approximately 120,000. In your little then and now, you indicate the circulation is 21,600. Is there what's the difference in those two charts?
It's never,
I've never seen that sheet, I've never seen that.
okay. Well, apparently we made a mistake on this sheet, and I didn't even notice,
So
so.
it's more likely that it was 121,000?
Yeah.
Okay.
I must say, I printed this up this afternoon.
I just want to get
really
through.
look at it very closely.
This is the official one, and this one is.
Okay. I understand how paperwork sometimes, when you're flowing them back and forth. The genealogy, none of the books that are at the Auburn Hills Memorial, rather, are Auburn Hills, are under any environmental controls. However, if you move everything to this building, would you have to the existing library, would you have to consider environmental controls for the future, which would impact the cost of running that building? Because even if it were not staffed on a full-time basis and just open for genealogy purposes on some limited basis, you still, if you want to preserve the books, would have to have some kind of environmental controls. So that's another consideration.